There's hands down one book that has had the most impact on me professionally, but also personally. And today I'm going to share that book with you because I think it can really help you up level in your life. Reading books is one of the things that I do to help myself get better as an entrepreneur in the business world and really upskill without taking super expensive courses. I love audiobooks. I love reading books. I take lots of notes that I can go back to. I use a tool called Notion with a book tracker in it, and it allows me to keep notes. It helps me for ideas, for content, and creativity. So today I want to share the book. It is the Gallup StrengthsFinder book. I first read this book and took the assessment that goes along with it about 10 years ago at the first company I worked for after I was a teacher. I had left teaching after 10 years and I worked at a startup, and everyone in the company took the book. And StrengthsFinder has a list of over 34 strengths that anyone can have. And the concept of the book is that we have natural strengths that just ooze from us, that we naturally have. We can't avoid them. And StrengthsFinder helps you identify your top 5 strengths. And when I'm telling you, when I first read my 5 strengths and the descriptions, I was like, holy cow, that's me. I even screenshotted some of it and sent it to some of my college longtime friends, and we were rolling with laughter. More for those stories later, but they're just who you are naturally. Now, I don't have the hard copy of this book because I think I lent it out to someone, but what I do have in front of me is my report that I printed off. So you take this assessment online, and then it tells you your 5 strengths. And the idea is that you just want to lean into those 5 strengths in your life and not try to just always work on your weaknesses. Which I don't know about you, but growing up, I always feel like I was told to work on those weaknesses. And this is like, no, lean into your strengths. I will say that this book is linked in my bookshelf and Carrie's bookshelf. So you can go browse that in the link below. Go ahead and get this assessment and take it yourself. Now I'm going to share out 5 of my strengths that I got, my 5. I've actually taken this assessment twice, once about 10 years ago and once 5 years ago. And 4 of my 5 stayed the same. 1 changed, which I thought was really interesting. But it made sense for how changes had happened in my career path and the life I'd been living as an entrepreneur. But today I'm going to share out the ones I got 5 years ago. And those 5 were activator, individualization, strategic, woo, and positivity. Now, what is interesting is that these strengths all fall into different categories. And one of the categories is influencer, and that your strengths align with someone who's influential. It can be in the workplace, in your life. And for women, it is very rare to have an influencer strength, actually. And I have 2 of them. And so one of the things that I had an aha moment is I need to use those strengths to do what I'm doing right now. Tell people what has made me grow and gain momentum in my life. And so that was a big aha moment for me. I also got woo, which I didn't even know what woo. I had heard that word, but I didn't even know what it was. And woo stands for winning others over. So that with activator together is that influence. And the activator part of me likes to get things going, get projects going. I don't want to sit around and talk about everything forever, like a project forever. I want to go, go, go. And so that paired with woo means I can bring other people along for that ride. One of the things about woo is that you really know, like you just naturally walk into a room and want to make everyone comfortable and draw them in. I love meeting strangers. And so it's not a manipulative woo, although I'm sure people could use it that way. It is, hey, naturally, I just want to bring people together. I want to make people feel comfortable. I often find that, my kids will be like, that person just told you their life story, like in the elevator. And it's just something that I've always had where people tell me sometimes their deep, dark secrets and they're like, I've never told anyone that. Thankfully, I'm pretty good at keeping a secret. Why does this help you in the workplace? Well, it's great if you take it because you get these printouts that tells you, here's how you can use your strengths to achieve. Here's how you can use your strengths to get ahead in the workplace, but also here's how you can use your strengths in a negative way, or in a way that like, more just like, hey, here's what's to watch out for with your strengths. So for me with woo, since we were talking about that one, woo can backfire on me because one, I can annoy people. I have a lot of energy. I'm over that. I'm old enough now that I don't care. You either like me or you don't. But woo can also be like a lot. People think that you are their friends. And so you tend to have a lot of acquaintances. And I care deeply about those people, but I only have the capacity to go deep and have deep relationships with so many people. And so I can sometimes pull people in and they want a lot from me and I don't have the capacity to give that back. And so, you know, if you're working in sales or customer success, you have to really do a good job of tracking how much energy you're putting into all your customers. And for me, from a networking perspective, I actually keep track in Notion again, and a relationship manager that I created in Notion, where I have a picture of every person, their name, who they are, where they work, because I have a terrible memory. And then I keep track of the last time I talked to that person and what we talked about so that I can keep and make sure that I maintain relationships that are really key and important to my life. I wouldn't have known to do that if I didn't know woo was one of these strengths. I knew I had this. My friends knew I had this. But I didn't know how to rein it in and make sure I use it in a really good way. Also, what's really nice about this is that you can realize things about, so I read all the other strengths, the descriptions after I learned about my own. And I realized that, you know, competition is a strength. And so if you work with someone who's highly competitive, they often see everything as a challenge or something they want to beat. And so that might clash with you if you're a person that's more, individualization, a person who's a relationship builder. If you don't see them as competition, they might see you as competition. So it was really helpful for me, especially when I was starting something new, walking into a new meeting, working with new people, that some people are going to see me as competition. And I had never realized that before in my life. I was just who I was. So learning your own strengths is incredible, but then going to learn the strengths of other people in your workplace, in your personal life, can be super powerful. So if you are looking to up-level and learn more about yourself and how you can just become better each and every day, I highly suggest taking this assessment. Again, it's linked in Carrie's bookshelf. And if you enjoy that content, make sure you subscribe to my channel, put on that little bell, click that bell so that you get reminders and notifications when new content is released. I hope you have an incredible day, and every day try to get a little better.